We learned a lot of them from the science people. We learned much from the English people that were there, and there were many of them. And they brought to the university the kinds of things that they, as they grew up, and implanted some of those in us as we went through the classes. Some of those classes were very difficult, and if it weren't for the fact that Dr. Garvey wanted each professor to be able to open a time in their office for us, or if we couldn't be there or meet there, what was left to do, they would invite us to their home, and we would come there and have a tutoring session if we were stuck with something. We never had to sit there and fail. They were very open and very honest with us, and always, you know, forthcoming with the information that we needed to know and the requirements that we had to have. But it wasn't such that we had to be like, you know, we're afraid to even open our mouth. Never had that feeling while I was there. Your questions were good questions. Your time there was effective, and it was also a pleasure to do some of the things that they had us doing. I mean, I can remember in science, we had to, for botany, we had to go all the way out to the park, and we had to pull leaves off of trees and identify what these were. And he was out, Dr. Naylor, he was out there with all of us, and if you had a question, you went there and asked him. I mean, we had to put this little booklet thing together with every leaf and plant type of vegetation that was out there and identify these things. And if we didn't have a foggiest idea, he at least implanted in our mind what or how we could look it up. He never gave us an answer, but he did give us a way to find it. And that's what was important, and that's the thing I brought to all my classes. I was not, you know, the kind of teacher that was going to bang people over the head. In fact, I just had a birthday 2 days before our friend over here. And so I received 175 blips on Facebook wishing me a happy birthday and telling me, you know, I was the best teacher they ever had, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I wasn't going to give them anything for it, but they still do this. And when they come to visit me, they still raid my refrigerator, and they still do all the same kinds of things we used to do when we were kids. So it's fun. I learned so much from those people, and I wish I could tell each one of them how much I, you know, enjoyed their jokes, their lectures, their ways of teaching, and I learned so many things from them. And it's impossible to put them all down on paper because there was so much. And every time I do something, or every time I did something in the classroom, it would come back to me, oh, that's the person that I was reminded of. So it was Upper Iowa was an ongoing thing constantly for me.